which the Muslims should stop fighting. Even if they want peace, we keep what? We keep attacking them and fighting them. وَقَالَ تَعَالَى حَتَّى يُؤْتُوا الْجِزْيَةَ عَنْ يَدٍ وَهُمْ صَاغِرُونَ. Fight them until they give al-jizya. They give this protective tax from their hands, and they are humiliated and subdued. Notice, he told us to fight the Jews and Christians. Until what? Until they give al-jizya. Which means what? If they give al-jizya, leave them alone. And don't fight them for the sake of what? Fighting. So the fact that Allah made a ghaya shows what? That Muslims are not intended to fight for the sake of fighting, but they fight for a greater purpose or a greater good. And if that greater good in Adam, if it isn't there, they don't fight. Sometimes the Muslims are what? Weak. They're weaker than their enemies. And if they fight, it will lead to what? Lots of bloodshed. Many Muslims will be what? Obliterated and killed and annihilated. And no good will come out of it. In these cases, the Muslims are encouraged to what? To make peace with their enemies. As Allah said, وَإِن جَنَحُوا لِلسَّلْمِ فَاجْنَحْ لَهَا وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. And if they prefer peace, then make peace with them. So this shows us that in the hadith, jihad was not intended in of itself. Rather, Allah intended what? Al-fara'id, the obligatory duties. So no one should think, which is the mistake of people like Ibn Laden and Al-Qaeda and these other groups, which call to what? They call to jihad, jihad, jihad. Never stop fighting, never give up. نَدْعُوكُمْ إِلَى السُّمُودِ. We encourage you to what? To keep fighting your enemies. And all we see is what? Muslim blood running in the street. And no material benefit, no benefit. Where is this? Fi sunnati Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Where is this in the sunnah of Muhammad? The one who made peace with the Meccans. The Treaty of Hudaybiyah. When he went to Hudaybiyah, they prevented him from entering Mecca. Did he insist on fighting them? No. He made what? Peace. And he made peace with them. And he continued to do what? This peace gave him the freedom and the ability to do what? To call to Allah. To the point that within 9 months, he returned and made Fath Mecca. At the time of Al-Hudaybiyah, the companions were 1,400. At the time of Fath Mecca, they were tens of thousands. Look at the benefit that came from what? Peace. But imagine if the Prophet had continued fighting when the Meccans were strong and he was weak. Perhaps they would have annihilated the Muslims. So we have to understand that these calls to jihad, 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 this is not Islam. This is not Islam, especially in a situation like we are in now, in which the Muslims are weak. Not just physically weak. They don't have the weaponry. They don't have the physical ability to fight their enemies. They're also weak where? In their hearts. Their faith is weak. They don't have the faith which will make them strong. As we mentioned from Ummah al-Khattab, the faith with which the Muslims fight, they don't have it. So they shouldn't be thinking about fighting. Right now they should be doing what? Thinking about increasing their faith. Then the Prophet ﷺ, at the end of the hadith, he said, حَتَّى تَرْجِعُوا إِلَى دِينِكُمْ. Until you return to your religion. And here, the Prophet alluded to the fact that the first two diseases are symptoms of a greater disease, which is the third disease, and that is that the Muslims are very, very, very far away from their religion. And this is the main disease which has led to what? Their humiliation. And therefore this humiliation will not be lifted until what? Until they cure the main disease and go back to their religion. دعونا يا إخواني نتأمل في قوله صلى الله عليه وسلم دينكم. Let us take a minute to ponder and reflect on the statement of the Prophet here in this hadith. Dinikum, your religion. Notice, the Prophet didn't say, Hatta tarji'u ila dinin, until you return to a religion. Any religion. He said what? Dinikum. Meaning what? Your religion, a specific religion that you know. There's a specific religion that you know you should be following, and that's the religion that you should return to. religion is the same religion which Allah referred to when He said, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم إسلام دينا. This day, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم. This day I perfected your religion for you. دينكم. Your religion. That same religion. وأتممت عليكم نعمتي. And I have completed my favor upon you. وَرَضِيتُ لَكُمُ الْإِسْلَامَ دِينًا. And I am pleased with Islam as your religion. This is the same deen. طيب يا إخواني. من مخاطبون بهذه الآية? Who are the people who Allah is addressing first and foremost with this verse? Who are they? Who are they? This verse was revealed when the Prophet was on Mount Arafat during Hajjatul Wada, the farewell pilgrimage. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم. This day I perfected your religion for you. Your, who is this referring to? من مخاطبون? The Muslims in general, but who specifically? Who specifically? As-Sahaba. As-Sahaba. So Allah is addressing Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions and saying, I've completed what? Your deen. Notice the same word. Deenakum, deenikum. Your religion, your religion. So we know the religion that the Prophet was referring to in the hadith is the same religion he was referring to what? In the ayah. They're one deen. The deen of Muhammad and his companions. The deen of Muhammad and his companions. This is the deen that you and I have to go back to. This is the deen we have to go back to. As an Imam, and if we go back to this deen, then the humiliation will be lifted. And the Muslims will get back what? That majd, that honor and glory and dignity that they enjoyed in the golden age of Islam. As Imam Malik, he said, لن يصلح آخر هذه الأمة إلا بما صلح به أوله. That the last part of this nation will not be righted, will not be corrected, will not be rectified, except by that with which the first part of this ummah was rectified. So we have to follow that same deen. وَيَا إِخْوَانِي, if we want a tamkeen, if we want Islam to rule, and wallahi ya ikhwani, there will never be justice in the earth if Islam doesn't rule. If Islam, true Islam, and true Muslims do not rule, there will never be justice. Don't think that Barack Obama can give you justice. Wallahi. No one can give you justice except what? A just Muslim ruler, ruling by what? Kitab Allah wa sunnati Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if we want tamkeen, if we want that to happen, then we have to go back to that deen. Because Allah has promised that if the Muslims worship Him properly and practice that religion, the same religion of Muhammad and his companions, He will give them what? A tamkeen. Allah Ta'ala, He will give them authority in the land. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كَمَا اسْتَخْلَفَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ وَلِيُمَكِّنَنَّ لَهُمْ دِينَهُمُ الَّذِي ارْتَضَى لَهُمْ وَلِيُبَدِّلَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا يَعْبُدُونَنِي لَا يُشْرِكُونَ بِي شَيْئًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says Allah has promised, and Allah does not break His promise. Those people who believe and do righteous good deeds, that He will give them succession and authority in the earth, as He gave succession and authority to those who came before them. And He will yumakkin, He will give authority to their religion, which He is pleased with. And He will replace their fear, the fear that we experience now. He will replace it with what? Aman, security and safety. With one condition. Ya'budunani. They have to worship me alone. La yushrikuna bi shay'a. And associate no partners with me in worship. طيب يا إخواني. In conclusion, it has become clear the disease and the solution, the cure, returning to the religion. But then what happens is we start